That cloud above you weighs 1,000,000 pounds. On a warm, quiet afternoon, it is easy to believe that clouds are the lightest things in the sky. They drift overhead like puffs of cotton, seemingly weightless, changing shape with every breath of wind. But that innocent white cloud is hiding a secret. An average fair weather cumulus carries around 500 tons of water, well over 1,000,000 pounds. That is roughly the weight of 100 adult elephants hanging silently above your head. And yet it floats there, hour after hour, held up by nothing you can see. How can something that heavy hover in thin air without falling? To find out, we need to step inside a cloud and see what it is really made of. Up close, a cloud is not a solid object at all, it is a crowd, a vast swarm of tiny water droplets. Each droplet is absurdly small, around 1 or 2 hundredths of a millimeter across. 5 of them, sitting side by side, would barely span the width of a single human hair. A single cubic meter of cloud can hold 100 million of these droplets, sometimes far more. Yet, all of them together add up to about half a gram of water, less than a pinch of salt. A cloud is heavy for one reason only: it is enormous. Even a modest cumulus can stretch a kilometer in every direction, 1 billion cubic meters of misty air. Multiply half a gram by 1 billion, and you arrive at those 500 tons of floating water. But none of those droplets could exist without something even smaller hiding at their core. Water vapor cannot simply turn itself into a droplet in mid-air. It needs a surface to cling to. So every droplet condenses around a tiny speck of dust, sea salt, smoke, or pollen swept up from the world below. In a very real sense, every cloud you have ever admired is built on a skeleton of dust. So if a cloud weighs as much as a herd of elephants, why doesn't it come crashing down? The first part of the answer is that its weight is never gathered in one place. Those 500 tons are scattered across billions of droplets, spread through a space bigger than a mountain. And each of those droplets falls astonishingly slowly. A particle that small drifts down at barely a centimeter per second. It would need a whole day just to reach the ground. Air resistance almost completely cancels its fall, the same way it slows a speck of dust dancing in a sunbeam. The second part of the answer is that the air inside a cloud is not still. Most clouds are born inside rising currents of warm air, called updrafts. That gentle upward push is enough to keep trillions of sinking droplets suspended, like ping-pong balls resting on a fountain. And when a droplet does slip out through the base of the cloud, it meets drier air and evaporates within moments. Here lies the real secret. A cloud is not an object at all. It is a process. At its edges, water is condensing and evaporating millions of times over, every single second. The cloud you watch drifting lazily across the sky is being endlessly destroyed and rebuilt as it moves. Once you know what clouds are, you begin to notice that they come in families, and each one tells a story about the sky. Up where airliners cruise, in air far below freezing, live the cirrus clouds. Those delicate white brushstrokes are not made of water droplets at all, but of countless tiny ice crystals. Down low, stratus clouds spread into flat gray sheets that can blanket an entire region for days. And when a stratus cloud rests directly on the ground, we simply give it another name: fog. Walk through morning fog, and you are, quite literally, walking through the inside of a cloud. The cotton heap clouds of a sunny afternoon are the cumulus, each one riding a bubble of warm, rising air. But given enough heat, moisture, and time, a friendly cumulus can grow into something else entirely. The cumulonimbus, the thunderstorm cloud, is the towering giant of the family. It can climb more than 12 kilometers high, outgrowing Mount Everest, and spread a crown of ice shaped like a blacksmith's anvil. A single storm cloud can hold hundreds of thousands of tons of water with updrafts strong enough to toss hailstones around like pebbles. And as all that vapor condenses, it releases as much energy as a large power station produces in a week, all wrapped in soft white cotton. Sooner or later, every cloud faces the same fate. It must let go of its water. But turning a cloud into rain is far harder than it sounds. A single raindrop needs the water of roughly 1 million cloud droplets. Inside the cloud, droplets jostle and collide, and the larger ones swallow the smaller ones as they sink. The bigger a droplet grows, the faster it falls, and the more it sweeps up, until it is finally heavy enough to survive the journey down. In colder clouds, there is a shortcut. Ice crystals grow at the droplet's expense, then tumble out as snow. In fact, outside the tropics, most rain begins its life as snow, melting quietly on the way down. Even a cloud's color tells you how close it is to letting go. Clouds look white because their droplets scatter every color of sunlight equally. But when a cloud grows thick and swollen with water, sunlight can no longer fight its way through. That heavy gray ceiling before a downpour is simply a cloud seen from its shadowed side, moments from release. And then there are the clouds that seem to break all the rules. Over mountain peaks, smooth lens-shaped clouds called lenticulars hang motionless in a howling wind, so perfect they are regularly mistaken for UFOs. Each one is a standing wave. Air rushes through it constantly, while the cloud itself stays eerily still, remade every second. After the fiercest storms, the sky can bulge with mammothous clouds, hanging beneath the anvil like rows of soft pouches. And far above them all, 80 kilometers up at the very edge of space, drift the noctilucent clouds. They float so high that they still catch sunlight long after the ground has gone dark, glowing electric blue in the night. Some of their ice may even form around dust left behind by passing meteors, clouds seeded by visitors from space. At any given moment, clouds like these cover roughly 2/3 of our entire planet. They cool the Earth by reflecting sunlight away, warm it by trapping heat at night, and haul fresh water to every corner of the world. So the next time a cloud drifts over you, take a second look. You are watching a 500-ton giant made of dust and mist resting impossibly on thin air. Follow Worth Knowing for more things worth knowing.